Good morning, Mr. Moore. Miss Yancey, your attorney, is going to join us here in just a moment, and I'll bring you back in then, so don't go away.
Yes.
Good morning, Jordan. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
I got Mr. Moore here with me. Give me just a moment here to get my ducks in a row. All right, let's go on the record here. This is an unscheduled Polycom bench warrant arraignment, People versus Herman Moore. Mr. Moore, I emailed your lawyer when I saw that you'd been arrested. I apologize, I have a cough drop in my mouth. Normally we don't have anything in our mouth when we're in court, but I've been coughing and I figure a cough drop is better than a cough. At any rate, this is file 183718. SM. It's a domestic violence second offense case that we've struggled to get sentenced. You entered a plea. We had a long history of failing to appear and other stuff, and found you in contempt last fall. You pled guilty to domestic violence first on December 4th. I set the matter for January 18th for sentencing. Got the police report. You didn't show up on January 18th or January 21st.
Your Honor, if I can speak to that, I know this was a case where the court had set notice. One of the notices said January 21st and the other said January 25th.
Yeah, so he didn't show up on either day.
Correct.
So I did a bench warrant, and the warrant's been out since. I'd let him out on a bond. Let me ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Moore. How did you get arrested yesterday?
My girl's family called the police on her for being at their house. It was, I don't know, it was weird.
Where did you get arrested?
Borough, Michigan.
So they came there for something else and found there was a warrant for your arrest?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who are you with?
Nicole Anthony.
Okay. Did anyone else get arrested or just you?
Me and she did too as well. She had a warrant.
Okay, I saw that. The magistrate's gonna see her. How come you didn't show up? We just sort of lost track of you and you never surfaced again.
Yeah, I couldn't get that Zoom shit. I'm sorry. I could not get that Zoom stuff working at all. At all. Because with my sentencing, I want to be done with this so much. It's been 3 years. It's just.
Yeah, this needs to be put to rest. I need to give
Yes,
notice
sir.
to the victim. I'm gonna set this for sentence. Jordan, are you available next Wednesday, May 3rd at 11?
The 3rd's a Monday.
Oh, excuse me, May 5th.
I am not.
Are you in the same hearing that Tim is in?
No, I am out of the office that day for a personal matter.
Are you, what's your schedule Monday or Tuesday?
I'm free Monday or Tuesday next week. I'm also free 11 on Thursday.
Let's take a look. I've got to go to some judicial thing on Thursday. That would work. How about Monday, May 3rd at 11?
I can do that.
Mr. Moore, your excuse that you couldn't get Zoom to work probably has some basis, but this is April. You missed. I let you out of jail, you missed. I gave you a $500 PR bond. I gave you the information. You told me at 305 and a half North Jefferson. Then your lawyer never heard from you. We never heard from you. And now you wait around to get arrested on a warrant. So your bond is canceled. You're going to be in jail until at least next Monday at 11.
Yes, sir.
I know the Zoom works from the jail. So we'll give notice to victim. I agree with you, Herman. We need to get this thing over with. It's from 2018. So we'll do it Monday at 11 o'clock. I'll see you at that time. You're good to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you. We'll see you Monday.
All right, see you.
All right, thank you. All right, Jordan, thank you for doing that. Rather than get the public defender in there and go through all that rigmarole. Well, let's bring our other customers in here. It's time for our other cases.
Hello again.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. This is Judge Middleton. I apologize. I have a cough drop in my mouth.
Okay, sorry, I got the mic going.
All right, Mr. Hoffman, good morning.
Morning.
We've got several cases scheduled for sentencing this morning. I will let you all know that we are live on YouTube. We're on the Zoom platform and we're recording this. This is the time and date for sentencing in several matters. Kyle Huffman is here on the operating while intoxicated charge in file 202262. His lawyer, Jordan Yancey, is here. Joseph Lancaster, not present. We'll come back to him. Josh Wood is not present. Here he is. And Luke Knopfinger is joining us. And his phone number is joining us. Let me see who this is. Good morning, Luke.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, Mr. Wood.
Morning.
I've got somebody here by phone, 269 221-4632. Who am I speaking with?
Joseph Lancaster.
All right, now let me give you a name. Mr. Lancaster, do you have the ability to do video?
I can never get it to come up.
All right, we may have to reschedule this. We've got some cases that are difficult and some that are less difficult. I'm going to start with one that perhaps may be less difficult. This is file 202702, People versus Joshua Michael Wood. Mr. Wood is charged with domestic violence second offense. It's alleged that he assaulted Chad Schwartz as a resident of his household, but I wasn't sure that was correct. Chad Schwartz is the person that was apparently seeing the defendant's wife, which was cause for discord. The prosecutor, at any rate, has agreed to dismiss that charge for a plea to a misdemeanor charge of disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. I did set it for today to allow victim input and get more information. Mr. Wood, is it still your intention to plead to disturbing the peace here this morning?
Yes, it is.
All right. Let me tell you this. I think everybody else has already pled, but when you plead to a criminal charge, you give up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney, and Mr. Knopfsinger has been appointed to represent you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take a witness stand yourself and testify. But you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify, and if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Now, Ms. Davis, you confirm the offer is disturbing the peace?
Yes, Your Honor.
Luke, you agree?
Yes.
All right, Josh, try to be a little delicate here, but this is a charge that allegedly occurred on December 8th of 2020 at your house over on Monroe Street in Sturgis. Is that correct?
No, it happened at 297 East Ann Street in Centerville, Michigan.
All right, who lived there?
Michael Wolfinger and myself and my wife and our children.
All right, and so you came home and found this Chad Schwartz there. What happened?
It's a messed up situation. He had been staying on the couch for a few days, and I was down in the basement actually, and I come upstairs, and he jumped off the couch where they were sitting under the blankets together, and I picked their phone up and found naked pictures where they were sending each other and talking to each other for the last couple weeks. I told them to leave the house, and I left the house. I padlocked my door shut. I came back to find that kicked off the hinges, and then I was, getting into it with them, and it just led into a fight to where him and I got into a fight, and then it was just done with after that, and the cops got called, and I went to jail.
How long were you in jail?
For overnight.
All right. My intention, Deborah and Luke, is to just give them time served and a fine. Anybody else have any other input regarding that?
No, Your Honor, we didn't get anything back from the complaining witness on this case, so I don't have any input from him. I think under the circumstances, what Your Honor is planning on doing is appropriate. Thank you.
I would,
Anything to add?
I would just ask the court to consider waiving discretionary fines and costs.
Also, just for the record, I filed my divorce as well.
All right. Are you working somewhere?
No, I'm not.
I've known you since you were a little kid.
I know.
What are you doing?
Right now I'm looking for work. This divorce put me back in my mom's house for the moment. I saved up some money and bought a car. I'm on unemployment, but I'm not trying to do unemployment. I'm trying to go back to work. I'm working on getting a house right now. But I just got my car and it's all good. And I had to replace everything because as well as all that happening when I got out of jail the next day, everything in mine was gone and including my kids. So I had to replace all my stuff, my kids' stuff. I mean, I'm slowly building up as it goes.
All right, I'm going to order 1 day in jail. Credit 1. I'll waive the fine. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, and a $150 fee for a partial cost of your attorney services. That's $275. Can you pay that in 30 days, Mr. Wood?
Yeah, I can come pay it today or tomorrow.
All right, well, I'll give you till the end of the month, till May. I'll give you to June 1.
All right, yeah, I'll have it paid by tomorrow. So.
All right. All right, this will not show as an assaultive offense. It shows as disturbing the peace.
Okay.
Which is a quarrel, argument, or disturbance, which this qualifies. All right, Mr. Wood, how about if you don't come visit me for a while? How would that be?
How about not at all?
Okay.
Not to.
Fine with me. You're good to go, sir.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gardner has joined us. Mr. Schrock is here. Mr. Huffman is here. And then we've got Lancaster, who is not here.
Judge, he's appearing through audio only. I see him.
Oh, that's right. And I'm concerned about that, Mr. Gardner. I don't want to do it if I can't see him. Where are you, Mr. Lancaster?
At home.
Where is home?
Sturgis, Michigan.
I'm going to have you come here to the courthouse in the conference room. I'm not going to do this sentence without being able to see who I'm talking to and have you see me. We do have the ability to do a video hookup from the conference room here at the courthouse. You live out on Plum School Road. It's probably not possible for you to get here that soon. Plus, you'd probably have driver license issues. So we're going to have to reschedule this. Mr. Gardner, are you available Monday at 11 o'clock?
This coming Monday, Judge?
Mm-hmm.
That may present a problem. I have a bench.
How about Wednesday the 5th?
What time?
11.
I can appear by Zoom.
Yeah.
That will be fine with me, Judge.
Mr. Lancaster, the report is finished. The probation agent's got it done, but you're going to need to come here to the courthouse next Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and I will have you in the conference room so I can see you and your lawyer can see you.
All right. What time? What time was it?
Be 11 a.m.
All right.
All right. I'll see you then. We'll get you the notice, but we'll do it when you're here. All right. That's the best we can do on that one this morning. Mr. Gardner, I'll see you Wednesday morning. Just as out of curiosity, where's your bench trial on Monday?
It is, let me check. I think it's in Grand Haven.
Are they doing it virtually, or are you appearing in the courtroom?
Judge Bunce is appearing personally.
He is, huh?
Yes. He's doing, and many of the prelims are being held in person as well. Whatever the prosecutors and the attorneys can get done through STIP obviously forgives that appearance, but that is in person. And it is in Grand Haven with Judge Bunce.
All right, well, we're not quite there yet. Everything we're doing is still virtually. Give Judge Bunce my regards,
I will.
on Monday, and I will see you on Wednesday.
All right. See you then. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Matt. All right, let's talk to Kyle Huffman. This is file 202262. Autumn Kiefer is here. She's prepared the report. Jordan Yancey is here. Let me get this file up here. I've had interesting discussions with Mr. Huffman, and I had hoped for sobriety court, but it doesn't appear to be in the recommendation. This is file 202262 SD, Kyle Gene Huffman. Mr. Huffman was charged with operating while intoxicated, entered a plea to operating with a high blood alcohol level content. The matter was set for sentencing this morning. We've discussed this case several times at sobriety court staffing. Couple problems. Mr. Huffman's prior is very old, almost 20 years old, which mitigates against sobriety court. But on the other hand, he had a very high blood alcohol level and is struggling with substance abuse issues. So I'm interested to hear what everybody has to say here. Jordan, let's start with you. What would you like me to know?
Your Honor, as the court has indicated, it's been a significant amount of time since Mr. Huffman has had any criminal issues. He reported to me, as well as Ms. Kiefer, that there were some pretty significant life changes going on, which caused this incident to occur. He's been an exceptional client. He's been in good communication. He's been active in his assisting me in his case. I know I don't get to say that often, but it's something I truly appreciate. It makes my job a lot easier when I have somebody who cares about their case and what's going on.
Seems pretty straightforward, but don't you wish you got to say it more often than that?
Yeah, I wish I could say it for every case, but unfortunately, it's far and few between these days. I did appreciate the report Ms. Kiefer had drafted. I think she captured what was going on with Mr. Huffman at the time of the offense accurately. I know he had interest in the sobriety court for the license portion, as far as, with the operating with the high BC, there is a suspension portion to that. However, I do support her recommendation as far as a probation, if he can complete what he needs to, early discharge, as well as community service in lieu of any additional jail time. He's been very remorseful, very, like I said, very proactive in assisting me on this, and I appreciate that. I know the court is not, or I know the probation department's not recommending him for sobriety court, but I would ask the court to take into consideration all the things that, while they preclude him from that program, are very positive things, in that it's been a significant amount of time since he's had any issues, and consider the events that brought this incident to fruition. So I'd ask the court to follow the recommendation of the probation officer as far as the sanction for this charge today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Deborah, what would you like me to know?
Well, Your Honor, I reviewed the report. I reviewed Autumn's report, and a couple of things stick out to me. One, his blood alcohol content was a 0.271, which was a blood draw, which was done a little after the incident, which is very concerning. So the other issue is he told the police officer and he told Autumn that he had not consumed marijuana for, I believe it was a few days prior to this accident, but the MSP labs came back and showed that he actually had THC COOH in his system, which would indicate he would have used close in time to when that blood draw was done. It's my understanding
the accident information form, which I really like, I helped put that form together when I was prosecutor. They don't hardly use it anymore. He admitted that he smoked marijuana 5 hours ago, is what he told the officer the night he got pulled over.
And then he apparently told Ms. Kiefer that he hadn't used In her report, it says he didn't consume any marijuana on the date of the offense. However, he did take his prescribed medication. So that would be on the last paragraph.
Yeah, I saw that, but he did admit in the accident information investigation.
Right. Which, I mean, the COOH in his system would be consistent with him using. So that's concerning that he's maybe, again, minimizing his substance use. Also, from what he told Miss Kiefer, when he would consume alcohol, it would be every couple of days after work, 3 or 4 tall boys. But to get to a 0.27, the amount of alcohol that he consumed on the day in question was significant. He's a large stature individual, so that takes into account too how his body is processing that. And he told the officer on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not drunk, 10 being the worst you've ever been, he was a 3. So his tolerance seems to be a lot more than what he's indicating as far as his use. Probably more significant than all of that is the fact that he told Miss Kiefer that the last time he used marijuana was Saturday, April 17th with friends. So we are several months into his sobriety, but yet he's consuming marijuana with friends. Doesn't appear that he was using it for medicinal purposes the way it was described. Any sort of substance use during this bond period is concerning if he's supposedly doing these treatment programs and that sort of thing. So with all of that, it has been some time since his first OWI. It looks like he served 9 days when that one occurred, and that apparently has faded from his mind as far as punishment. I would ask the court to consider giving him 10 days jail to serve as scheduled by the probation department, and then follow the rest of the recommendation as far as probation, testing, that sort of thing. And hopefully we don't see this happening again. And I guess to point out too, it is indicated in the report and the points were given, but the police officer had to swerve to avoid a head-on collision with him. So his driving is concerning. And I think there needs to be some punishment form of this to prevent this behavior in the future. Thank you, Your Honor.
Autumn, I agree. You did a nice report here. I'm struggling with where to come down here. You didn't recommend sobriety court. He doesn't have 2 within 7 years, but he's going to lose his license because of the high blood alcohol. You think he'll be eligible about July to reapply?
Possibly, yes. I didn't recommend sobriety court. He had an over-the-phone intake / assessment with CMH. He doesn't qualify for services. He was recommended to complete the 4-hour Prime for Life class, which he was scheduled to take last month. I was notified by Mark Olson at CMH that Mr. Huffman didn't attend to that. So I contacted Mr. Huffman. He claims that he was unaware that he was actually supposed to attend that class. So I have advised him to take that class in May. On that Saturday. It's free, at least to give him some more information and some more tools in his tool belt to when he's put in the position as he was, losing his job abruptly. The reasons he lost his job were very unfortunate to him personally. So he turned to alcohol, which he needs to learn that that's not the avenue to take once life goes, downhill. So forming his probation around a somewhat sobriety court program would be ideal for him to complete the class. What I wrote in my report is exactly what he told me. Yes, the marijuana obviously would still be in his system, even if he did use days prior to the offense. He told the officer one thing, he told me another thing. I can't.
I think that may have been a miscommunication, but if anything, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I did use that same night.
Okay, so now we have the truth come out. So he needs probation, obviously. He will be suspended for 5 months approximately, restricted for 3. He's not working right now. So right now, technically, with everything via Zoom sessions, the driver's license is not that important at this point, unless he does start to obtain a position. He lives with grandparents. His grandfather is the one that has to take him back and forth. So community service to give back to the community. I'm not opposed to the jail that the prosecutor is requesting. I was hoping just for him to give back to the community and not have to sit in a cell, but I understand where she's coming from as well. So victim impact panel, obviously the alcohol-based safety class / Prime for Life, he is already scheduled to attend the second Saturday in May. Random testing for alcohol, straight flat forward probation.
Well, Mr. Huffman, this is your case. I'm going to give you the last word. What would you like to tell me?
Everything that I guess I mistook or missaid what I said to Ms. Kiefer. Me personally, I'd like to be here for my family. I have put in applications. The most promising one is at TSC in Three Rivers, that they're looking for part-time help. It's one place that is not a problem for my grandfather to get to, or for me to ride my bicycle to get to. I know, I guess I'm not available for the sobriety court. I can't do. But with, like Ms. Kiefer was saying, with the probation and community service, I would really much like that, so I can, stay with my family and stuff. I'm not a big fan of the jail, obviously, and I do understand the prosecution's concerns. So I fall at the mercy of you guys.
Well, you've been appropriate through everything I've been dealing with you. Nobody's a big fan of the jail. Even the people who work there, I don't think, are a big fan of the jail. But I get frustrated a lot. I get frustrated a lot, almost every day. But one of my frustrations is substance abuse evaluations. Somebody I don't know has some grid, and they talk to you and they make some recommendation, and someone somewhere determined that you're not eligible for our sobriety program because you don't present with a significant substance abuse issue. I'm just the judge who's handled between 12 and 15,000 drunk driving cases as a prosecutor and a judge. I don't even know where we're at now.
Might I add also?
Yes.
That night in question was the first night in a long time I have drinking hard liquor.
Well, I can't figure out how you got to a 271 blood alcohol level after smoking some weed, almost crashing into a police car, having open intoxicants in your vehicle. It isn't something you can dabble in. You have to build up a tolerance before you can get that drunk. Most people can't just go get that drunk without A, getting sick, or B, passing out. You are walking, talking, driving on your own scale, a 3 out of 10 drunkenness. I'm not sure how much drunker that is, but anyway, they determined that after talking to you, this was more situational than chronic. But I saw you as a guy in crash and burn pattern. You were at a low point in your life. You were, screw it, let's just drink and do what we need to do, smoke some weed, and then this happened. And I do think it was a wake-up call. Part of the reason why you didn't qualify is because I think you present very well to the examiner. You're intelligent, thoughtful, remorseful. As Jordan said, you've been an ideal client. And so to some extent, I think you faked good a little bit. But I certainly would have liked to have had you in the program. I think you could be very successful in it. But I'm stuck with what I'm stuck with, and so is Autumn. So let's get back to that summary. I'm going to order a $300 fine. The fine is up to $750, but there's enough to pay for here. A crime victim's rights fee, a $75 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, a $150 probation oversight fee. The probation is 24 months, but it isn't going to go 24 months. 24 months is $960. It'll be done in a year or less. I am going to order you to go to the victim impact panel.
Okay.
And there's a $200 reimbursement to the sheriff's department.
Okay.
I'm also going to order alcohol highway safety class. Let's add all that up. They tell you drinking driving is an expensive proposition, and it certainly is. 300 plus 75 plus 50 plus 100 plus 150 plus 960. That'll be reduced by at least 480 plus 200 plus 15 is 1850.
That would be the total, Your Honor?
Yes, that'll be reduced by 480 or more, but
Okay.
there's no bond to apply.
Okay.
That's 2 in 1 year or jail. Now, you did 1 day in jail. I'm gonna do 10 days jail, credit 1, leaving 9 days to serve, and of the 10 days, 7 are deferred. So you got 2 days to do, which is gonna be scheduled by the probation department on a
Okay, yeah.
weekend. You almost head on to police officer at a 271, and we're post-COVID. I think that merits at least a weekend and time to think about it. I'm also going to order substance abuse counseling as treatment as directed. We're going to treat this sort of as a sobriety court kind of a case, so I may be meeting with you periodically if Autumn sets it up.
Okay.
And a test is directed by the probation department, and you're not going to have any alcohol or any controlled substances, including marijuana, unless you have a certified and valid medical marijuana card.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a medical card?
No, I do not.
Well, right now in Michigan, marijuana is legal for adults for recreational purposes, but so is alcohol. And so you're prohibited from using both of those while you're on this. You can take any prescribed medications. Autumn, is there anything else I should address here on the record?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right, Autumn knows how to get a hold of you. She'll be contacting you about the probation and scheduling the weekend in jail. And I'll probably be seeing you from time to time as you go through this probation. I think you're going to be an ideal probationer, just like you were an ideal defendant. Which is part of the reason why I would have liked to have had you in sobriety court. But let's see if we can end the crash and burn before you hit the bottom and do crash and burn. All right, Mr. Huffman, you're good to go.
Now, through Autumn, will that be through email, phone?
I'll call you this afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, Mr. Schrock, we're ready to do your case next. Your attorney, Mr. Gibson, is here. Let me get this one up.
Jealous of your hair.
Let me see. Oops. Got everything else out of there. This is file 201241, People versus Jamie Lee Schrock. This was a larceny of a building and a financial transaction device fraud set for plea and sentencing today for a plea to larceny over 200 but less than 1,000. Larceny over 200 but less than 1,000 is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days, excuse me, up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000 or 3 times the value of the property. It doesn't affect your driving privilege or anything like that. Are you going to plead to that misdemeanor charge of larceny over 200 but less than 1,000?
Yes.
Deborah, would you confirm the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that's accurate.
Mr. Gibson, you agree?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Schrock, I went through the advice of rights when you were here earlier and you heard those. Other than that, did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this?
No.
Promise you anything?
No.
All right, Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, the defendant took responsibility for this very as soon as I was appointed to be counsel, the first time I contacted him, he indicated to me that he had already began paying his grandmother back. He knew what he did was wrong and it was a stupid decision, and it's out of his general character. He's done, I believe he's paid back his grandmother all the money that he took from her. I believe that this incident, as a result of this incident, they discovered that there was another relative of the grandmother that was also unrelated to this, what had made some unauthorized transactions. So, Your Honor, I believe that the defendant is deserving of a chance on probation if the court believes that anything beyond fines and costs is warranted in this situation. I believe the defendant has a very limited criminal record. Thank you.
Deborah, what would you like? Well, first of all, I guess we haven't taken the factual basis yet, so I guess we better take the plea. Mr. Schrock, did you use your grandmother's credit card and buy some items at Walmart and video uses and other things?
Yes.
And it was more than $200?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't have permission to use it?
No.
All right, we've got our factual basis. Deborah, what's your thought here?
Well, Your Honor, the contact that we've had from the family member that's the victim has been that he did in fact return or pay for all of the items, so there's no restitution issues. I believe they indicate that there was some substance abuse issues going on with Mr. Schrock at the time. This did happen quite some time ago. It's been over a year now since the incident. It's our understanding from the contact from the family members that Mr. Schrock is doing much better now. He has rehabilitated his relationship with the family members. So I would just leave it to the court's discretion as far as the punishment for the sentencing today. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Schrock, what would you like me to know?
First of all, that was a very, very not wise choice I made. I was distracted by a loved one that I was just trying to gain her love back by doing the wrong moves. And now it's come to this and I have to pay the price for it.
Are you working somewhere now?
May 3rd, I believe I can go back to my old job. I'll know more at the end of the week by Thursday, tomorrow.
Where did you work?
Dutchman, RV, Middlebury.
Yep, for that job.
Just it slowed down and changed over management, and it got real bizarre, and so now it's getting put back together and everything's looking good. So
did you get laid off or did you quit?
I quit.
Well, some of the time frame, there are several things about this that bother me. These charges were apparently made in January of 2020. You moved out and your grandmother found the charges after you moved out. She found charges worth $2,457.91, and she found that her card was actually missing. You'd been staying at her house. So she went to her daughter, her granddaughter, who's your sister, Julie
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Julie Bennett confronted you, and you admitted taking the card, said you would pay it with your tax return on March 20th. And then you never did. So they went to the police, and then they broke everything down, and they have videos of you using the card at Walmart.
What I had bought in was food and groceries and a ring. I bought the ring for her and bought food and groceries for my kids. I mean, I wouldn't go on a shopping spree or nothing like that. It was all for my family to eat, and me being an asinine and buying her a ring thinking I could win her love back. Obviously, I know better now.
Well, you bought $653.88 worth of stuff.
That was the ring.
That's from Walmart.
Yeah, that was the ring.
Then you bought steampowered.com 809, Microsoft Xbox. This is like a non-game. 19.
There is some things
Microsoft.
on there that's not mine though.
Meyer Sturgis 3401, Walmart 473.60, Meyer Sturgis 454.91, Admiral Petroleum Sturgis 1441, TV Switch subscription service $4.99, JTV service $128.78, PlayStation, Glicks, Walmart, then the big one at Walmart, $653.88, and then Xbox and Xbox, playing for online gaming. Then you were a dick to the police when they went over there to try to talk to you about this. You don't have to talk to the police, but you were very disrespectful.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
A lot of them charges were my nephew, 15-year-old nephew that got into my grandma's account. That's where all the Microsoft and the Xbox and all that stuff. I went over it with Paul Gibson on the things that I was accountable for, and I paid more than back, and that's fine. I'm not arguing that, but a lot of those charges were not mine, and all the family members know, and everybody's straight on it. But I just want to let you know that that's not all mine.
So how much did you actually pay back?
I paid back almost I think it was $2,000.
How did you do that?
What's that?
How were you able to pay that back?
Through my unemployment.
Did you write a check or just give cash?
Cash.
We have a letter from your mother that your grandmother signed saying that everything had been paid back. I'm not sure I believe that. I think grandma maybe is just forgiving this. I don't know whether this money's actually been paid back or not. But Deborah, what's your thought here?
Your Honor, the family was not wanting to see significant punishment for this. That being said, I'm not fully convinced that all of it was paid back, or that mom isn't maybe just doing the talking for grandma. But it's a tough one. It's a long time since this occurred. The significance of the charges it's hard to tell. I don't have all of the receipts to say exactly what he bought each time, but again, I think there was a drug issue maybe fueling most of this, and hopefully that's under control. So perhaps a probation, if he's willing to do so, to show that he's got his issues under control and there's not going to be any further problems.
All right. Well, that's what I thought, that it was a drug thing, but he was buying. I'll take him at his word that he didn't do the Xbox stuff. But the other thing is the credit card was gone. What happened to the card?
She got it back. My sister, I gave it to my sister.
So you took it and kept it, then moved out and kept her card. So were you using meth at this time?
No.
So there was no drug component to this?
No.
Other than, if we take out the stuff that's probably his nephew's, Nike.com, Xbox, we got Meyer, $34, Walmart, $473, Meyer, $454, Admiral Petroleum, $1441, Glicks, $125.45, and Walmart Sturgis, that comes to about $2,000. And the last charge was in February. He didn't pay the money back like he said he was going to do, and then they went to the police. But the victim is not asking for any additional sanction. You and I go back a long ways, Mr. Schrock, back to when I was still prosecutor. There's 28 separate entries under your name in the system for St. Joe County. When's the last time you were on probation or parole?
It's been probably over 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
20 years,
Even I
maybe.
than we used to do. How long were you in jail before you bonded out?
3 days.
I'm gonna order 6-month probation. Let me look at this. $225. Where did, it looks to me like one night, but if you got arrested over the weekend, where were you arrested?
LaGrange, and then got transported to you guys.
All right, so you were in LaGrange for a couple of days. 3 days credit, 3 days. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $240 probation oversight fee, and you're going to do the economic crime class.
Can my bond cover some of this?
Yes, you posted a $3,000 10% bond, so I've got $270 to apply to your fines and costs.
Okay.
To pay for the class. $75 fine, $150 probation or attorney fee, $240. That's $465 plus the cost of the class, minus $270 equals $195 plus the cost of class. What happened to the relationship?
We're trying to salvage it, but it's one day at a time.
All right. No alcohol,
I'm
no
just doing it for my
controlled
kids,
substances.
and I don't drink, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I didn't think that was an issue, but that's a condition of every probation.
Right.
All right, the probation department's gonna get a hold of you and set you up for this class. It's not the full embezzler's treatment class, but something less than that, and it's, I think, a one-day session. Are you still at 1792 phone number?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, anything else for anybody else?
No, Your Honor.
All
I'm jealous
right.
of your hair, though. I like it. Rock it.
Oh, some people think I lost my marbles, and some people think that they hate it. Some people like
I love
it. Anyway, I guess I'll know when it's time to cut it. I stopped doing it during the COVID, and then I just let it go. And
Hey,
I'm not.
grow it while you got it.
Well, I'm not clueless enough to know how terrible it looks, but anyway, when it's time to cut it, I'll know. I'll get my hair like Mr. Gibson's or Debbie's. And but anyway, thanks for your support, Mr. Schrock. And you're right, grow it while you can. All
Yes,
right, I want
sir.
you to do a good job on this probation, and the matter will be completed. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Paul and Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Debbie, I've got landlord tenant this afternoon, so I guess I won't see you until tomorrow.
Really disappointing. Used to be me on landlord tenant stuff, but
Yeah,
trying
it
to
was.
stay out of it. Well, have a good rest of the day, and
Okay, I'll
have a
see you
good
tomorrow. All right,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, that completes our morning. We didn't do too bad. We had a lot of dead time in there, but we will be taking a recess for lunch.